There's a person in your life who doesn't raise their voice, who doesn't get flustered, who doesn't react to chaos. While everyone around them is panicking, they're just still. And it terrifies people, not because they're threatening, not because they're aggressive, but because they're doing something most people can't do. They're not losing control. When someone stays calm in chaos, it triggers something primal in everyone watching, because calmness is a signal that says, I know something you don't. I've seen worse than this. This doesn't touch me. And that signal is terrifying. Most people have never experienced true calmness. They've experienced numbness, dissociation, suppression. But actual calmness, where you're present, aware, and completely unmoved, that's rare. And people don't know how to respond to rare. In this video, I'm going to break down the psychology of calmness, why it intimidates people so deeply, why it makes people uncomfortable, why calm people have a power that aggressive people will never possess, why they end up winning. It's not charisma. It's not manipulation. It's something much more powerful. It's the psychological dominance of someone who has nothing left to prove. Before we get into the psychology, we need to understand what calmness actually is neurologically. Calmness is not the absence of emotion. It's not detachment. It's not numbness. Calmness is emotional awareness combined with emotional regulation. It's knowing what you feel and choosing how to respond. Most people feel something and they react. Fear to flee, anger to attack. But calm people have developed a gap between stimulus and response. And in that gap is their power. This gap is where choice lives, and choice is the foundation of all real power. Now, why does this intimidate? Because it breaks a social rule. If I trigger you, you should react. It's an unspoken agreement. You push, I push back. But when someone doesn't follow that rule, something breaks in you. Because you've lost leverage. You can't manipulate someone who won't react. You can't control someone who stays calm. This is why calm people are dangerous, not because they're aggressive, but because they're unpredictable. Reason 1, they see the game. When you're calm, you're not participating in the chaos. You're observing it, and observation gives perspective. While everyone else is caught in the emotional current, calm people are watching the pattern. They see what's coming next. They know the ending. And people can feel that. They sense that someone knows something they don't. And that feeling is unsettling. Unpredictability is one of our oldest fears. Reason 2, they've already lost. Calm people intimidate because they've already accepted the worst. Fear of loss creates reactivity. But calm people? They've often already lost something major and survived it. They're still here. So what are you going to threaten them with? Abandonment? Failure? Judgment? The calmest people in the room are often the ones who've been through the worst. And that survival changes them. It removes the urgency and the fear. Reason 3, they don't need you to understand. Most people are constantly seeking validation, seeking to be understood, seeking approval. But calm people don't need you to agree with them. And this is where the intimidation deepens. Your opinion doesn't threaten them. Your anger doesn't move them. Reason 4, their silence is louder than your words. Most people will do almost anything to break an uncomfortable silence. They'll overshare just to fill the void. But calm people can sit in silence. And silence in a conflict is absolutely devastating. It creates space for doubt. Maybe I'm wrong? Why aren't they reacting? A calm person sitting silently is letting you hear yourself. And most people don't like what they hear when they really listen to themselves. Reason 5, they move at their own pace. Reactive people operate at the speed of emotion, fast, impulsive, urgent. Calm people operate at the speed of intention. This difference in pace is deeply intimidating. When you're moving fast and someone is moving slowly, you feel like you're the one who's out of control, like they're already there, waiting. So calm people naturally occupy a position of psychological advantage just through their pace. They're never chasing. Everyone else is always catching up to them. Reason 6, they reveal everyone else's insecurity. Here's the deepest reason calmness intimidates. It's a mirror. When you're around a calm person, you become hyper-aware of your own reactivity, your own desperation, your own need for control, because contrast makes things visible. And suddenly your own agitation looks like weakness. Calm people don't attack you. They don't insult you. They just exist calmly. And in that calmness, you see yourself clearly. You see how much you're struggling. how much you're trying, how much you care about things that don't matter. And that's uncomfortable, so you push back. You try to provoke them. You try to make them react so you don't have to see yourself so clearly. But they don't react. They just stay calm. And the more they stay calm, the more your desperation to get a reaction shows, the more you're revealed. Calm people force everyone to confront themselves. The cost of calmness. Now you understand why calmness intimidates. But what's the actual cost of being a calm person? Because calmness doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from something. Usually it comes from loss, from failure. They're not calm because life was easy. They're calm because life was hard. And they learned the only way to survive hard things is to stop fighting them. But here's the dark side. This calmness can look like indifference. People mistake acceptance for apathy. A truly calm person can watch someone they love make a mistake and not intervene, not because they don't care, but because they understand lessons must be learned through experience. But to someone else, that looks like abandonment. Calmness is also lonely, because calm people operate on a different frequency than most people, and different frequencies don't connect easily. So calm people often find themselves isolated, not by choice, but by accident. Too unmoved for the emotional, too honest for the manipulative. And so they're often alone, which is why calm people often seem sad. How do you actually develop calmness? Not the fake kind, the kind that comes from actually working through your stuff. Strategy 1. Build the gap between stimulus and response. This is a practice. Every time you feel triggered, every time you feel the urge to react, pause, just pause, create space, and in that space ask yourself, do I have to respond to this, or am I choosing to respond to this? This gap is where your power is. The bigger the gap, the more power you have. Strategy 2. Stop needing things from people. Calmness comes from independence. The moment you need someone's approval, you're reactive, you're at their mercy. So the work is to build a life where you don't need anything from anyone. Every time you reject someone's approval when you want it, every time you choose yourself, you build calmness. Strategy 3. Look at your resistance. The most reactive thing about you is usually what you're most resistant to seeing. What makes you angry? What makes you defensive? If you immediately want to defend, refute, explain, that's pointing to something you haven't integrated yet. Calmness comes from integration, accepting the parts of yourself you don't like. Here's what's strange about calmness. It's the most powerful thing a person can develop, and it's also the least respected. Because power, in our culture, looks like aggression. It looks like volume, domination, forcing your will. But that's not power. That's desperation dressed up as strength. Real power is quiet. It doesn't need to announce itself. Calm people are often underestimated until it's too late. Until you realize that while you were fighting them, they were already 10 steps ahead. While you were trying to control them, they were already free. And then you finally understand, you were never the threat to them. They were always the threat to you. The most intimidating person isn't the loudest. It's the one who could react, but chooses not to. The one who could defend but remains silent. The one who could fight but just walks away, because that person has already won, and everyone can feel it. So the question isn't, how do I intimidate people? The question is, how do I become so secure in myself that intimidation becomes irrelevant? And the answer is calmness. True, earned, hard-won calmness.